Hey, what's up, you guys? Fico here, and today we're going to talk about a little something that it's been sort of kind of happening recently. It's something that hasn't happened in a bit, but with the release of Pokemon X and Pokemon Y, which is, by the way, a game that I'm really enjoying. I got X because, freaking Xerneas. I have to get Xerneas. Those between him and Utah, I pick Xerneas. But there's another thing that's common with the release of Pokemon, and that is PETA. Now, PETA, for those of you who don't know, it's an organization that it's mostly composed of people that are animal lovers, and well, basically what they do is they advocate for the rights of animals, and they also don't really care much about humans, because it seems like they get to extremist lengths just to protect animals. Not a lot of people care about them too much nowadays, so I guess that's the reason why PETA has lately been trying to get people's attention by fighting for the rights of animals that don't exist. They fight for the rights of animals that get taken out inside of video games. And I wish I was making this up, but no. PETA, this organization that's got celebrities and actors and a bunch of other famous people who advocate for animal rights, they get recruited by PETA to promote the protection of animals. A pretty worldwide known organization. They have become so irrelevant because, let's be honest, PETA has gotten to the point where they're just doing things just to get attention. You know, at first I thought maybe the attention was just to get acknowledgement for their cause, but I think they actually really like the attention. So, but lately that's not been the case, so they've been taking on Nintendo, and that's the reason why PETA is on the gaming channel today, because the main story that I'm going to be talking about is about a member of PETA, and this PETA member may actually go down in history as probably one of the most, I would say, insane, but I think it kind of sad. It's more of a sad story, but this woman clearly, who I'm going to be talking about in just a moment, kind of does not have a grip on reality, and you're going to be seeing. Now, PETA has engaged against Nintendo on multiple occasions in regards to Pokemon. Also engaged with Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, when apparently they said that it was a gateway drug for people that wanted to engage in whaling fantasies. But of course, you know, they also blame Mario for being a murderous psychopath for killing Koopas. I've seen people point out that PETA's website, they do flash animations of these things get depicted, which begs the question, so now they're fighting for the rights of fake animals. I remember one time that they also fought for the rights of the Zerg. They went to protest Heart of the Swarm launch, and they were fighting for the rights of the little Zerglings, a fictional thing that's in a video game that are the villains. And that's another thing that you're going to notice in a moment in this correlation, but I will get down to the brass and the tacks. Now, the article that I'm going to be talking to you guys about was posted on the wall of a YouTube ranter called OfficialGATG. The dude's name is Stoutmeister. I'm subscribed to his channel. I've commented on a few of his videos, and he's really sincere. He's very, he's full of heart, and he's full of passion, and he gets angry. So if you go into these videos, which I will be linking the official GATG link of his YouTube video before, he said he probably, when he posted something on his wall, I think he then gets to the point where he makes a video about it. But I think this is going to be a point where he's going to make a video about it. But I read the article and I was like, I have to talk about this. And Alpha Omega Sin loves to rip on PETA, because PETA, they're just completely and utterly insane sometimes. But the article of the PETA member was brought to us by Play for Real, p4rgaming.com. I will link the article down below as well. Now, the story is about a PETA member who was apparently traumatized by Pokemon, and now because of the trauma, she is suing Nintendo for emotional distress. Now, what led to this, you might ask? Well, it's actually pretty funny. Now, the story is about a woman called Miranda Bryant. There was a previous name in it before, but they fixed it. The person's called Miranda Bryant, and she posted on a blog a story about how her daughter received a copy of Pokemon Y for her birthday. Now, according to Miranda, she had been wanting Pokemon for some time, and she had remembered asking about it around the time when Pokemon Leaf Green came out, and she was interested in that as well, because I think her older sister had it. And this is where in the article I start to notice that this woman is a little off of her element. And when I tell you what she said, this is basically all you got to do. I'm going to read directly from the article. This is basically the stuff that she said. Apparently, the reason that she didn't buy it was because of this connection between green leaf and marijuana. Yeah, that's right. She associated green leaf with marijuana. And this is what she said about that experience. She said, "My daughter may have become a serial killer or worse, an animal abuser, if I had bought her the game. I considered suing Nintendo right then for causing me so much distress all those years ago. Are there even any Christians at Nintendo?" Wow. Don't you just love those words that just came out of my mouth, from her mouth first? Well, first, she's paranoid. She's clearly over-exaggerating. She didn't get her facts straight. She clearly thought that green leaf and marijuana were both linked, where in reality, I can't believe I have to explain this to someone that is just, is good at, like, taking care of animals, like taking care of them. But I believe that you look at the Leaf Green cartridge, it's supposed to be either a Venusaur or a Bulbasaur, or the latest evolution of it's supposed to be a Venusaur, I think, and that is a grass-type Pokemon. And all the Pokemon games have get coated with a color or a jewel and a color, just so they could stand all apart. This does not have anything to do with marijuana. Of course, they would think that because PETA probably hammered this down her throat to think this. Well, she said that an animal abuser is actually worse than a serial killer. So basically, she thinks that killing humans is not as bad as killing animals. So you kill a fish, you kill a parakeet, you kill a dog, you run over a squirrel. That is the equivalent of being Adolf Hitler. That's where she stands. You can't have that. You can't have animal killers. No. Oh, and apparently she's also kind of bigoted as well, because she says that are there even any Christians in Nintendo? That's being a bit bigoted, because you know what? Nintendo, they do video games, and they don't let religion dictate, because they are a business. Therefore, they are giving games to people who like their franchise. And, you know, if you make a religious game, there's nothing wrong with that, but you make a religious game, but you're going to force a belief into people, clearly that is, the people are going to see this game for what it is. And to tell you the truth, that wouldn't be a really fun game to play, so they wouldn't invest in something like that. Thought about suing Nintendo even back then, so hey, glad you had some restraint. The reason that she got back to Pokemon was because her daughter received this game, so she decided to research Pokemon, and what she found was Pokemon Origins, which is supposed to be some kind of tie-in material for going back to the beginning. Apparently it was released a few days before Pokemon X and Y, and this series looks really, really cool. It's not actually a series, it's more like a special. And it's supposed to actually be the original story of Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red. And the main character is actually Red. It's not Ash Ketchum, it's Red. And she did research on this, and what she found was so horrific that she lost her mind. And what was it that she found? Well, again, I'm going to reference the article because this is what she saw. She posted on her blog, and this is what she said. Now, we'll get to that now. This is quoting her. She was outraged over a scene that she describes as a small dog and her puppy are chased by some poachers, and they end up cornering the baby dog. It was then that she noticed the puppy had no skin on its head and its skull was visible, which made it clear to her that these poachers must have abused these poor creatures for science experiments. She went to describe that the puppy eventually got away but had to listen as these vile men beat her mother to death. Now, in the article that I've linked below, there is an actual video clip from a YouTube scene of the actual scene that was described. Now, the actual thing that happened was that there was this Pokemon by the name of Cubone. And Cubone is like a little dinosaur Pokemon. And Cubone is like considered one of the cutest Pokemon from Generation 1 because he was like this little dinosaur and he held a little bone and he had like this skeleton head for a head. But, you know, you saw its eyes. So, you know, clearly it looked like it was just wearing a head. And then there's the evolved version of it, which was Marowak. Now, Marowak looked like he was like more brutish, and it seemed like the skeleton head was actually its face. So that was really cool. Now, the scene they're describing is Team Rocket going out to capture Pokemon for, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've covered Pokemon, but head of Team Rocket, you know, and well, they cornered the little baby Cubone, and its mom went to defend it, and the Pokemon wranglers from Team Rocket took up like a stun baton, and they never actually show you whether they actually killed Marowak or not. You're just given this assumption that it died, but you don't see the entire clip of the episode. So I haven't seen Pokemon Origins. So for all we know, Red probably saved the Pokemon, but how it's put into the video, it looks as though they killed Marowak. But that's not the point. The point is, Cubone's not a dog. These Team Rocket people, they're not poachers. And they're not, and it's kind of weird because they kind of make it as though it's like, okay, they're doing science experiments on them. You have to forgive me if I'm wrong about this. I don't know if Team Rocket actually did science experiments. I think they actually did, but their main goal is to capture Pokemon for Team Rocket. So they can use them, so they can dominate. Because Team Rocket, it's a crime syndicate. So they are the bad guys. Okay? So, and they're not real. But the thing is that they're supposed to be like this because they are the bad guys. They're the antagonists. So you have to show them do bad things. But that's not the thing that drove this woman nuts. What drove her nuts was a scene where a Squirtle and a Charmander both fight each other. This is how she described it. A turtle was being forced to mate with an orange dinosaur. I didn't even have to see the video to see what they were referring to. I mean, clearly, the turtle is Squirtle, and the little dinosaur is Charmander. After that, it said that it wouldn't look like they were mating. It looked as though they were fighting, because that was exactly what it was. It was a fight. But here's the thing that, and I'm going to read it directly from the article because I want you to feel what this woman felt. She said that the scream that the dinosaur let out as it was being tortured still rings in her ears and made her physically sick. I haven't been able to sleep for days because of watching this, she wrote. The people who own these animals just stand around and watch while this slaughter is going on. It's barbaric. Down below the article that I posted also shows the scene where Charmander's being kind of like grabbed by Squirtle, and it releases like the shrilling screech. It's a very disturbing scene. But if you know what it's about, then you know that these two Pokemon are fighting. The Pokemon trainer Red got Charmander away before Squirtle could kill it. Now, earlier on the day, I was debating, and it's funny that they bring up the subject about how, my friend Matt said that the Pokemon that you usually take out on the field, they don't faint. They actually die. But because, I mean, if they faint, why can't you capture them? But if your Pokemon faint, you can just draw them back into your Pokeball. But these, you don't. And by his theory, he says that they die. It's kind of funny. He kind of put it in the way that laugh. But in the context of the show, they faint. No Pokemon actually die. I mean, that I've noticed. I mean, they don't pull through their depths too much. Because when people die, the Pokemon's tears, they just bring them back to life. According to the movies, that is. Obviously, if you could tell from the tone, it seems like this woman is so passionate about animals that she's blind towards what this show is. I mean, first of all, it's fictional. Second of all, if she knew or understood Pokemon and claimed to have done the research that she did, she'd know that the two guys that are using these Pokemon, they are fighting them, putting them against each other to fight. I guess if you want to overanalyze it, it would seem as though, you know, these are putting these animals that you capture to fight. But this is part of the life of the Pokemon universe. A fictional universe, I might add again. These Pokemon, I mean, as how they're depicted, they are given care. They're Pokemon centers. They're things that you can give your Pokemon. You don't just capture them and you beat them to the end of their life. No, you grow with them. They grow with you. They learn to adapt. It's no more different than boxing. You know, you don't let your Pokemon go further in to like it becomes a game of death. But even so, even if that were the case, it's still fiction. It's not real. There's no reason to get offended, but the thing is that PETA probably traumatized this poor woman so badly with the films of actual animals getting massacred and beaten and abused that this thing just totally traumatized her to death. I mean, because she associated real animals with this thing. But that doesn't fall into comparison, thus fails in comparison to what she actually did afterwards, which is the main reason why I'm doing this video, because I wish that this was more about video games, but this is more about people that are delusional and people that just need to realize that, you know, things are just things. They're not trying to convey any other different type of message, but you understand right now to the point of how bad this is, because then later she ends the blog by saying this. After a brief argument, I was able to wrestle my daughter's Nintendo away from her and broke it in half. I flushed that horrible Pokémon game down the toilet with my cat droppings. I banned her from any video games and anything Pokemon related, and told her that she is never going to see the boy who bought the game for her ever again, and I will be homeschooling her from now on. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. You know, you want to cheer. You want to cheer. Come on. Come on, guys. No applause? Nothing? Nothing? Not even one. Am I the only one that's applauding for this woman? Seriously. This woman is great. This woman is a brilliant parent. So, let's be real here. She is suing Nintendo, and she's also suing McDonald's because they sponsored Pokemon Origins because she was traumatized by PETA to hate humans that beat up on animals, care for animals more than you care for humans, and gotten her into such a paranoid state of mind to care for animals so badly that just because her daughter owned the game that she never played, that the mother never played, I don't think even bothered doing any research about it, she got so enraged over that one clip that she saw from the little bit of research that she did. She took her daughter's Game Boy, her 3DS, broke it in half, flushed the game down the toilet, prohibited her to play any video games at all, not having anything Pokemon related, prohibiting her from seeing the friend that gave her the game, and the one that I considered to be the crowning achievement of parenting, keeping her isolated from the world by homeschooling her in the hopes that she will never be exposed to Pokemon ever again. This is a fear of Pokemon, ladies and gentlemen. This is scary shit. And the coup de grace is that the daughter definitely is not happy. Actually, there was an Instagram post that was done from Brian's daughter's Instagram that was deleted after the post that went viral, and it's a picture of the broken 3DS, and the original caption was, "OMG, my mom is nuts. Hate her, want to move out." Then it just hashtags 3DS broken, FML, marry me Brett, love you Brett. I'm thinking that Brett is the guy that gave her the game. I am just going to put that out there. Maybe that's him, maybe it isn't. Apparently, but that's not even the end of this. That's not the end. See, not only is the mom is trying to control and dictate her daughter because of something that she saw on an anime from a world that doesn't even exist, she then goes onto the offensive. Remember when I said that she's suing McDonald's and Nintendo? Apparently, she's suing for emotional trauma, for home tuition fees, and for the price of the broken handheld. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. She has the nerve to include in this lawsuit that she's talking with her lawyers home tuition fees for her daughter that has not been traumatized by Pokémon. I mean, this is all coming off of Miranda Bryant's reaction. This is the mother. So she wants to sue them for her trauma, but she also wants to include expenses for her daughter's homeschooling. Homeschooling that her daughter doesn't need. And she adds the broken handheld. The handheld that she broke! She broke it! It's clearly her fault. It wasn't Nintendo, it wasn't McDonald's, and it wasn't Pokemon Origins. She broke the handheld, but now she wants them to pay for it. Really? Just really? Really? Oh, and then there's this little part down below at the article, but I don't know if this part is true or not, but I wanted to read it. Sources also say that Bryant recently filed for divorce after catching her husband hiding in the bathroom on the toilet playing the game. And the last part is he apparently told her to fuck off as he was about to catch a shiny Mr. Mime. Now, I don't know if this part is true or not, but would you really be surprised if I told you that that was actually true or not? I mean, a lot of people might actually think that that part is true. I mean, look at what she's done so far. I mean, she has gone through this. She's trying to connect Pokemon with drugs. She got traumatized over a something 17-second scene where Pokemon were just fighting. She thought that Team Rocket was a bunch of animal poachers. She couldn't tell that Cubone wasn't a dinosaur, and that would have by definition been giving you the idea that that would have been just fictional. She destroyed her daughter's handheld. She told her friend to fuck off. She's threatening to cut all her social ties with the outside world by homeschooling her. And she's prohibited her from playing any video games, which I'm betting those make her happy. So I guess you can argue that her mother is trying to protect her, but I just think it's just a very, very sad story about a woman that was brainwashed by PETA into thinking that animals are, you know, that animals are the #1 priority and that they have to be protected at all times, and that, you know what, fuck the human race. You know what? They squandered everything they've been given. They don't care about nothing. They don't care about nobody. Animals. Animals have never bothered anyone in the world. They were born, and then we came, and then we started plundering everything, and then you have to just get rid of them because, you know, they're evil. They're worse than serial killers. Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden. No. KFC, the people that process meats, Red Lobster. You know, fuck those guys. You know, those are the guys. Those are the guys that we have to target. Oh, and Nintendo, because you know what? They are promoting animal abuse. They are worse because they're teaching children how to be animal abusers. And you hammer that mentality down time and time and time and time and time, and then you're convinced that it's real. You're convinced that there's a problem, but there's no problem. Miranda Bryant, listen to my words. Listen to them carefully. Look at my face. I want you to look at my face. I want you to see this video, and I want you to look at my face, and I want you to think, and I want you to listen. You are endangering the relationship between you and your daughter because of Pokémon, a fictional cartoon series based out of a video game, is making you delusional to the point that you are threatening to cut social ties, your daughter's social world, and you want to trap her into your home to keep her away from the evil that is the outside world. Are you not going to let her watch TV? Are you not going to let her listen to music? Are you gonna tell her how to think? Are you going to try to traumatize her as bad as you've been traumatized? I feel pity for you. I mean, I was thinking I was just gonna blast you and call you so many stupid names and just make the world realize just what of a horrible person you are. But you know what? No. I feel pity for you. I feel absolute pity for you because you clearly are not thinking straight. You're clearly thinking the PETA mentality. You're thinking the animals have to be saved. Maybe that's why you're doing this to your daughter. Because if your daughter plays the game that you thought it was going to make her into a serial killer, and now she's playing this game that is tied to this series that is about animal poaching and about massacring animals, you know what? You'll do that because you believe in this delusion so badly. You know what? If you want to protect animals, go protect animals. Go protect the dogs. Go adopt a bunch of cats. Go save animals. I am not against animal rights. I am not against people who love animals. I am not against vegetarians. I am not against people who call meat murder. You know what? Fine. If they think that's what it is, that's fine. You know, I am not going to stop eating meat because at the end of the day, the animal is done. It has become a part of you. You are eating a meal because it's been turned into something that you eat. Will I kill an animal? I don't think I would have the nerve to. I don't think I would. But I have been present when I have actually seen a pig get succulent from beginning to end. It's a 2-day process. And I think the unity and the love and the fun that is involved in this is more important than what a pig is thinking. And I don't think they do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, animals should not be abused, should not be mistreated, and should not be molested. Like, I'm talking about dumping dogs over a bridge because you don't want to keep them in a shelter, or running over cats, or tying firecrackers on animals. That's all disgusting. But if the animals are there to eat, you eat them. Now, I know that this is sort of kind of turned into a rant about PETA and animals, but let me just put it this way here. I thought it was going to be about Nintendo, but first off, I will talk about Nintendo in a moment, but Lady Miranda, Ms. Bryant, or Mrs. Bryant, I don't know what the status of your marriage is, but get yourself help. Get out of PETA, go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, talk to them, rebuild this bond that you have with your daughter, and just let her be. Pokemon is not going to ruin her life. Video games are not going to ruin her life. Video games are not ruining lives. They don't cause violent acts. They're not going to cause your daughter to become a drug addict, a serial killer, or an animal abuser. And stop the shenanigans with Nintendo. Nintendo's gonna run you over. Nintendo is not going to like that you are slandering and then you're making false claims about their product. They could hit you hard. They could hit you harder with that. Your organization has tried to take McDonald's down time and time again. It has not worked. Their tactics do not work. If you want to protect the animals, but stop doing these publicity stunts. Stop blaming video games for crap that they are not doing. Stop blaming Pokemon for stuff that they are not doing. I am begging you, do not keep this up. But you know what? PETA's not going to stop because they'll do whatever it takes to get the attention. But Miranda, you, my friend, you still have a chance. You still have a chance. So stop what you're doing. Get some help. Because Nintendo is not going to let this fly. And you taking away video games and you taking away her social world is not going to stop this whole thing from happening. Pokemon is a fad right now. Trust me when I tell you. Give it a few months. When the PlayStation comes out, Pokemon fad will just go away. There'll still be people playing it, but believe me when I tell you. I played Pokemon many years ago, and I am fine. I played Generation 1. I played them before all of this new Pokemon stuff happened. So, that's it. That's the end of my video. I hope that you people like this video. I hope that you guys understand that PETA, and other organizations like PETA, they brainwash you into thinking a specific way, and they, ironically, they call themselves the Crusaders for a good cause, but they're the ones that are really ruining your life. They say that video games cause violence. Video games didn't cause you to wrestle away your daughter's handheld and break it in half very violently. It was your warped beliefs, thanks to PETA. So think about that. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you have anything you'd like to leave down in the comments as an opinion or anything that you guys think, leave them down. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'll leave those links down below as well so that you guys can follow me on the socialist highway of social media. And if you guys like to leave comments of what you would tell this woman, definitely. And pray for her daughter, because if she doesn't rectify this, Miranda's kid, I would just recommend you to go live with your dad, or go through the proceedings and the divorce and have you end in full custody, because you are so way better off than being with a woman that only cares about animals. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you have anything you'd like to leave down in the comments as an opinion or anything that you guys think, leave them down. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I'll leave those links down below as well so that you guys can follow me on the socialist highway of social media. And if you guys like to leave comments of what you would tell this woman, definitely. And pray for her daughter, because if she doesn't rectify this, Miranda's kid, I would just recommend you to go live with your dad, or go through the proceedings and the divorce and have you end in full custody, because you are so way better off than being with a woman that only cares about animals. So think about that too. Give her a chance, and if not, just back away. Do yourself that favor, please. I thank you all again for watching. My name is Fico, and that was my gaming mind. Peace out, guys.